one of the things that's been missing in the pro-life movement for so long, and I can say this as someone who faced the pregnancy decision and had a girlfriend, and then now my wife of 42 years was pregnant when we were both undergrads at Princeton. One of the key drivers that kind of puts abortion out of the picture is the role of the guy. That the guy steps into that role and steps into a role there. And when you think about that in the context of Scripture, you see that the most celebrated unplanned pregnancy that we know about is the birth of Christ. And Mary, like my wife, was facing an unplanned pregnancy from a human perspective. The way she got pregnant was very different, but the consequences of it were exactly the same. And what did God do to make sure that Mary's unplanned pregnancy wasn't a crisis pregnancy? He sent an angel to Joseph and told Joseph to do two things: to be a husband to her and a father to the child growing inside of her. So God's response to an unplanned pregnancy from a human perspective was what? To build a family. And so when you look at how we framed a lot of the pro-life issue, it's sort of, okay, we're going to help the proverbial Mary and save the proverbial Jesus, but we're not trying to reach Joseph. But that's what God did. He sent an angel to Joseph. And the other thing was so central there is that the first thing that he told Joseph to do was what? Do not be afraid to take Mary as your what? Wife. And so what you see in the story of Mary and Joseph is the sanctity of marriage and family and the sanctity of life and the order of it. The sanctity of marriage and family, then he tells them who Jesus is, the sanctity of life. So a pro-abundant life perspective is about building a family following the model that we see in the first chapter of the first book of the New Testament. And that's the key, the first step in terms of moving into a pro-abundant life perspective. You're actually trying to build strong families, not just save babies, as God honoring as that is. And it frames it in that context. That's how we get that pro-abundant life perspective in terms of God's design.